This book club on Facebook called Reshelving Alexandria, and it's basically a place for people who build home libraries, and they wanted people to, like, some of the older members like me to, like, older as in when it started, not like older in age, but like people who had been part of the group from its inception, like write some, like, these are some great books to add to your library, or this is a great genre. So just going through, like, my daughter just realized that she had almost all of her primitive reflexes were not integrated. And so I went on this journey to find something. We did the whole like therapy option, but I just, as like a homeschool mom, I just love to have like resources and books to like better understand and to have like more than just what I'm getting from this program. And so that's where I found your books, and I was like, oh, these are amazing. And so I bought all of them, and then I did this big review of like, what are the pros and like why we have them and how they can help, and like all the things that, because my daughter's big issue with her unintegrated primitive reflexes is that it affected the neurological development of her eye. Mm-hmm. And so when she goes to read, she can't track across the page because she just never integrated.
How did you find out that your child has retained reflex? Somebody diagnosed for you? Did you go see a specialist? How did you find out?
She just couldn't seem to remember the words that she read. She had a great like retention, but she couldn't read. Like, she really wasn't really reading. People are like, oh, your daughter probably is dyslexic. But I'm like, but she spells amazingly. She has none of the telltale signs. Like, she rhymes, she spells, she knows all of her phonograms and all of their sounds. Something is off. So we got her eyes checked. Perfect vision. Went to this really expensive place. She, got this, and they're like, okay, well, she has eye tracking issues. They have this computer that tracks like where her eye is looking. She's trying to read, and so they had this line of words, and her eyes went like this as she was trying to like read across a page. I found this place called Brain Balance. They test for all of the primitive reflexes, and they do eye tracking. And so when they tested her, she just didn't develop neurologically with her eyes in the correct way, and it prevented her eyes and her brain from like being able to like communicate and do what each other wanted the other to do. You can do all the eye tracking therapy you want, but if you don't get the primitive reflexes integrated, it's not going to make any difference. I got into this program, and they do the eye stuff and they do the primitive reflex stuff. But I noticed like we only do like one exercise or two exercises for each primitive reflex. And what I love about your book is there's so many options. In your book, I noticed like, oh, this almost seems like a little bit step up. And then we saw like, oh, you can tweak it this way to make it a little harder. And that was like really helpful to see the progress. I had no idea that primitive reflexes affected eye tracking in such a major way. How much we're doing with your books and like how she's progressing with her eye tracking. They think she can be done in a year, which is great.
Really, it's what you're trying to, your goal is to target the brain, right? So the brain doesn't really need to know if it's a store-bought therapy tunnel, as long as movement is what we're looking for. It's making
or a sanctioned therapy swing. Yeah, it's fine.
How often do you do the exercises, the home exercises?
So we do every day except like I give her one day off. Rest hard on that day, right? And so kids don't do homework. We just like, we don't do anything. We shut off our phones. We don't answer our door. We isolate. So I don't make her do exercises that day. But yeah, we try to do them every day.
Sometimes kids are misdiagnosed as ADHD. What's actually retained reflexes that making them wiggly. ADHD kids that I've worked with have some kind of retained reflex.
We did take our son who's autistic and ADHD to an occupational therapist for like a month, and all she did was primitive reflex stuff. I didn't know that's what it until we bought your books like later. I was like, oh, those were all primitive reflex things. Your books to just be such a huge help and a blessing to our families.
It was one of my hope, like a parent somewhere will just pick it up and then they can feel like, oh, I can do this,
My child kind of goes through pain with her eyes and with her body, but she can't do these things, or socially and emotionally we'll go through pain if we don't get really serious about this and work really hard at it. And the more we do it, the better it is for her. And so just remembering like having that goal in perspective with everything, we've kind of just made it a lifestyle.